Welcome Templars to a brand new video on our channel. Today we are going to discuss the psoas, also known as the soul muscle, and its significance in the human body. Stay with us to find out why this muscle is so special and how we can massage it. The psoas is a tremendously important muscle and paradoxically very unknown. And it is the soul muscle that connects our spine with our legs, serving as one of the primary muscles responsible for maintaining the stability of the human body. But still, many people are unaware of its existence, let alone work on it. And regrettably, I also encompass massage professionals and therapists in this. However, I am extremely proud that a lot of you Templar fans have been inquiring with me about this muscle in the comments, so I am creating this video for all of you. The psoas muscle is the deepest muscle in the human body, and it has an impact on our structural balance and range of motion. Furthermore, some recent studies go as far as considering it a smart fabric and directly related to our deepest desire for survival, since it is constantly receiving primary messages from the central nervous system. And it is because of a busy and hectic life, a day-to-day filled with stress and the constant rushing everywhere, that the body produces an increased amount of cortisol. And over time, this cortisol directly affects the psoas, causing the muscle to shorten and lose mobility, which is going to be evident in how it affects our posture and makes us hunch over and round our abdomen. And the thing is, this issue not only impacts the front portion, but also the rear portion, and frequently it then results in hip problems, lower back problems, sciatica, or posterior pain. It can even cause pain during menstruation or problems with digestion, so you see the significance it has. That's why whenever someone comes to me with lower back pain to treat in the cabin, I not only treat the back area or look for where the muscle knots are, but I also pay attention to how the psoas is and work on it. In this way, I managed to get a lot of people who haven't had results before with just one session to notice a lot of benefits. That is how I managed to hook them, but of course, the thing is that this muscle is not easily accessible. We cannot work on it from the surface. We have to reach the depth. Even for a specialized masseur, it can sometimes be tough to get to this muscle. That's why in today's video, I'm going to show you my tricks to reach him and relax him. And now we get down to business. And as I've already told you, the psoas goes from the spine to the legs. So the first area we're going to work on is the lower back. We're going to focus on the lower back and the entire area between the second and third lumbar vertebrae, which is where the psoas is accessed. That way we'll see how much tension there is in this whole area. First, let's move the skin in a cross shape, up, down, and sideways, and let's assess which direction is the most challenging for us. We're going to do this maneuver without oil, because what we want is to mobilize all the fascia we find, and if we use oil, we're going to slip too much and we won't be able to have any effect on it. Once we have determined which direction is the most challenging, we are going to perform hand drags to mobilize the skin and attempt to enhance that range of motion. Since in this case it's harder for me to bring the fabric to the outer side, I'm going to repeat this maneuver several times. Once I have either attained a redness or perceive that I can maneuver the tissue more proficiently, I am going to progress to the other side and carry out the same procedure. First, I'll check the test to assess the mobility progress, then I'll focus on the most challenging direction for me. Here it also costs me more towards the outer side, so I'm going to repeat several times in that direction. I can do it by alternating between hands or by using both hands together. For the remainder of the maneuvers, I am going to use a small amount of oil. You all know that if you all put too much oil, your maneuvers are going to be very shallow. In the next maneuver, we're going to go through the little gap between the column and the paravertebral. Let us utilize our fingertips and attempt to reach as deep as we possibly can. You will see that if the area is extremely tense, you cannot access it, or you feel excessive hardness like a wall, you will have to be more patient, go at a slower pace, and persist more, but you will see that ultimately you will observe a change. After performing it on one side, we will do the same on the other side. And ultimately, we will position a towel and exert pressure directly on the square-shaped region of the lower back. We will position the palm of the hand directly below the spine, never on top of it. We are going to lean right into the gap between the ribs and the hip in order to place it on top of the vertebral and on top of the lumbar square, and there we will apply sustained pressure with our palm. To apply this pressure without hurting ourselves, the best thing is to use the body weight. Y'all know y'all don't have to exert any force with your arm, just place it and lean on your arms and put a little bit of your weight. You all have to adapt to what the individual can handle and how they are all tense. Do not push it and do not injure yourself. And then we will do it somewhere else. Remember that we utilize the towel to not drip and not cause more harm to the individual. We are going to keep this pressure for -1 minute, or at least long enough until we notice a change, until the muscle releases some tension, or until the person feels less pain. And now we're going to access the psoas from the abdomen, so let's change the person's position. We'll put them on their back. And now that we have it face up, let's work on the abs. First of all, you guys gotta check how much tension the abdomen has, because if the person has too much tension and you see that the muscles are really tight or there's too much swelling, I recommend that you first give a general massage on the abdomen. On our YouTube channel, we have additional videos discussing how to perform abdominal massages to relax your muscles, which can be extremely beneficial for you. It's best to relax first and avoid pain-inducing techniques. That way will prevent the person from contracting and worsening the problem. The psoas muscle extends from the navel to the iliac crest, but it is situated deep within the body, so we will need to dig deep in order to access and work with it effectively. Before accessing it to loosen up the area a bit, we will first work on the iliac muscle. It's a muscle that covers the iliac crest from the inside, since the psoas also reaches this area. In this way, by releasing the iliac first, we will then be able to access the psoas with less pain. To perform these maneuvers, I also recommend doing it without oil, unless the skin is excessively dry, and then you can use a small amount but a very minimal quantity. We will find the edge of the hip bone and insert our fingertips. Let's make a gradual effort to insert the fingers deeper and deeper, while carefully searching for all the edges of the bone, little by little. Take it slow because this maneuver is really painful. If you observe that you're experiencing difficulty going deep, ask the person to take deep breaths. You'll notice that you understand better and faster. This has to be done for a minimum of 1 or 2 minutes. You guys need to increase the depth, and you need to ensure that the sensitivity has decreased. After completing this, now we are going to access the psoas muscle. In the space between the belly button and the hip crest, we are going to create 3 divisions. Right where we have our closest finger placed, the iliac crest, that's the location where we're going to dig deeper and create space for ourselves between the muscles until we reach the depth that is necessary for us to go. Once we've reached the muscular wall, if we want to make sure we're in the specific muscle, we're going to ask the person to lift their knee a little bit. If the area where we have our hand tightens, it means we are on top of the psoas. Once we have the spot locked down, without moving from it, we're going to apply pressure towards the belly button, as if we wanted to stretch it from the iliac crest. We're going to do the same thing on both sides, on the right and on the left, even if one of the muscles is more affected. And as a final touch, don't leave the person like that, please. Now do some relaxing and draining maneuvers so that those muscles feel much better. The relaxing steps make the final feeling one of well-being and not of pain. With this, we're going to make sure that from the first session, our patient achieves significant changes and improvements in all the issues we've mentioned before. Let's wonderfully relax the psoas muscle. You know that in order to get better results, you should also combine it with warm-ups for the area or assess the body to see where there may be more tension. The ideal thing would be to do the massage at least once a week, or if you have problems, you can even do it twice. And if this massage is not enough, or because due to your lifestyle habits you are shrinking it more and more, I advise you to watch our YouTube channel video where we give you some wonderful stretches that can perfectly complement the work. Because even if you do the massage once a week, it would be very, very good if you did the stretching routine daily. If you liked it, share the video. You can also like or subscribe to our channel. It's a big help for us. You and I will see each other in the next one. Don't forget to take care. Your body is your temple. Stay safe.